started the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, one of those places that I've had the, I guess, privilege to live in my IBM career. IBM happened to build a facility there because at one time the guy that started IBM started going to the Mayo Clinic for physicals and decided, I like it here, I'm going to build a plant here. And he did, and that plant went on to produce a number of key products that over time have been big sellers for the IBM company. But anyway, Charles and his brother, they were unique individuals, physicians obviously. And when I was out there, I like to read, so I was reading a little bit about the Mayo brothers, and I came upon this quote, and it was entitled "Self-Worth." And you can read it, but I'll read it for you. There are no inferior jobs in any organization, no matter what the assigned task. If it's done well and with dignity, it contributes to the function of everything around it and should be valued according by law. One of the characteristics of leadership that I've seen is that they don't look down their nose at any job in the organization. I work till late at night, many nights. And I'm often working when the cleaning people come through. Empty the garbage, vacuuming, whatever the cleaning people do. And this happens to be in Avis Budget headquarters in Parsippany, New Jersey. And I probably could do better at it, but I go out of my way to talk to the cleaning people every night, offer them candy out of my candy jar. Let them know that I appreciate what they're doing. You wouldn't believe when I need something that they are so, because in most cases, for a lot of people, they're just part of the wood, they're part of the scenery, they're part of the background. They don't exist, right? Nobody talks to them. Oftentimes, English is not their native tongue. They're in probably lower paid service jobs than the average professional that they're servicing the office. But they perform a valuable service for that organization. And I would tell you, there is no such thing as a good job, bad job. They're all good. And I think as a Christian, if you think about this idea of a job, what would the Bible tell us about anything we do, no matter how menial the task? Do it like what?
Working for God. Like you're working on
like you're doing it with God watching, right? I'm paraphrasing, but so think about that. Not just for yourself, okay? Take every job that you're at. My son is in a job now that he doesn't like, I will tell you. It's not that it's a bad job. It's just not what he wants to do, is trained for, and it's not his passion yet, right? But as a father, you know what I tell him? Treat that job like it's the most important thing in your life, because you don't know who you're going to meet and on what circumstances that might be a stepping stone for something that will be a great thing for you in your career. So I would tell you, a lot of you are going to go back and you're going to have summer jobs. Some of you maybe have internships, whatever it is. Treat every job that it in and of itself has great worth. You will not only please your bosses, frankly, you'll please yourself, and more importantly, you'll please God. And when you do it with this kind of attitude. Probably if I think about the people, don't want to get emotional here, but he's gone on to be with the Lord, my father-in-law. He had the best attitude I ever saw. Everybody he met saw it. And when he died, most people, when I pass away, I hope that, some people will come and give condolences to my family, to my children, whoever happens to live past me. And typically people would have a couple of viewings, let's say, okay, at a funeral home. We had to put on 2 extra viewings and extend the time for all of those hours because all the people we never knew about that he influenced because he had the right attitude. So I can't tell you enough. Attitude is everything. And by the way, it has to do with your personal life, your student life, your prayer life, whatever life it is, your attitude and how you approach every situation can cause a success or a failure. I'll leave it with you. Most of you can probably read it. But if you get one lesson out of tonight's talk is think about your own attitude, no matter what you're presented with, and am I controlling the one thing, the literally one thing that I can control in most situations? Because oftentimes you're faced with situations you have no control over, except your attitude. And if you have the right kind of positive attitude, it changes almost every situation. And so I would leave you with this idea of attitude is everything, whether it's in, again, any part of your life. You know, it is a characteristic of leadership and one I hadn't dwell on, but I wanted to leave this with you. I don't even know who this is a quote by, because again, I didn't pick this up myself. But if you remember nothing else from tonight, remember attitude is everything. Apply it, use it, grow with it. It is the bottom line. All right, let's ask some questions. We have about 5 minutes or so. We can take a little bit. I can stay a little bit longer. If you have to go, please feel free to go. But anybody have any questions about? Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Smith, number one, it's my great honor to be here tonight to listen to your talk. Although my major is not business, but I do have one interesting question. It is well known that great changes have taken place in the relation between China and the United States in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I think in the last couple of months, there is a very hot topic. It's about a company called Google.
Yep.
Google, they set up branches in China.
Yep.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think by next Tuesday they're supposed to close down the branches in China.
Yep.
Google company. It's because the Chinese central government or because of the misinformation giving out. I wonder, like, since you work for IBM in this technology area, if you were the Google's advisor, what do you think of the disadvantage of Google closed down this company in China? Meanwhile, they're still thinking about expanding their business in some minority countries.
By the way, that's a great question. Did everybody hear the question? Okay, don't want to repeat it. If you aren't aware, obviously Google, the corporation, has taken an action that they are going to shut down their sites. By the way, understand the reason for it has to do with the censorship involved. And I can't speak for Google. IBM has a huge presence in China, and we'll continue to grow our presence in China because, frankly, the market is untapped and unbelievably large there, okay, for our business and for others. And so I don't think a company like Google walks away from a market without great thought. But think about why. If you read enough, look at their company charter and really how and what they were established for. And this idea of censorship goes against every fabric